Tonight,
there's the tornado.
We follow severe weather across the region. News 5 tracking dangerous conditions.
We're seeing debris, and our radar confirms it as well.
Keeping you updated every step of the way. Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Rob Powers. Tonight in Storm Tracker 5, downtown Cleveland, a little wet right now. We're watching a lightning show over Lake Erie as we drive through the streets of Cleveland. The heavy storms, though, were off to our southwest, and yes, they were so heavy. We do have team coverage tonight as we continue to follow the dangerous storm system that made its way across the state, across Northeast Ohio. News 5 Chief Meteorologist Mark Johnson with us in studio, providing updates as they come in. And News 5 reporter Joe Paganakis live right now in Plymouth Township assessing storm damage on the ground. And that's where we start. Joe, can you tell us what you're seeing right now?
Rob, you can see back here this barn, large barn, the roof blown off of it, plenty of debris. It's hard to see much right now, obviously, because it's dark, but there were a number of property owners that are along W and Nestrick Road out here, just east of Fenner Road in Plymouth Township, which is about 10 miles west of Mansfield and about 10 miles south of Norwalk. We talked to the Township Fire Department, and they're telling me that they've been out here for the better part of a couple of hours after heavy, heavy winds. It was about a half-hour episode, I was told, by the Township Fire Chief that they've been dealing with out here. Heavy winds, plenty of property damage. If you look over my shoulder out here, you can see in the distance that there are plenty of emergency crews out here because all of the power poles along Fenner Road have been snapped and hot power lines are down here. All the traffic has been cordoned off in this pretty rural area, again, in Plymouth Township. But the winds were very heavy. Heavy storm episode, I was told, for about a half hour. As a matter of fact, when my photojournalist Cody Murphy and I got out here, there was heavy hail just about 15 minutes before we went on the air here. So this is still a very volatile weather situation that is still developing out here as they begin a cleanup. And a lot of these owners are using heavy equipment to move around the debris and trees and parts of barns and homes that have been affected by the heavy winds out here. Back to you, Rob, in the studio.
Well, we also want to say welcome to town to a lot of our guests who are already arriving for what is going to be just a really big week ahead. The stars are descending on Cleveland right now for the NCAA Women's Final Four.
Oh, yeah. So much excitement here. South Carolina and Iowa arrived at their hotels downtown this afternoon. North Carolina State and UConn, they're expected here this evening. Carly Massetti's live in our studio now, and this is good stuff. The stage is finally set.
Right, and we can't wait to see how it all pans out. This all comes on the heels of one of the most watched nights in basketball this year. Here are the matchups. Number 1, South Carolina still sits at 36-0. The Gamecocks are the favorite to win it all. They take on North Carolina State Friday night at 7:30. NC State is considered the biggest underdog of the remaining 4 teams. And then in the nightcap, Friday at 9:30, Caitlin Clark and Iowa take on Paige Beckers and UConn. UConn, of course, has a legendary program. Head coach Gino Auriemma has led the Huskies to 11 national championships. Leading scorer Paige Beckers poured in 28 points last night to secure a spot in Cleveland against the consensus National Player of the Year, Caitlin Clark, who dropped 41 on LSU. We asked Iowa's coach, Lisa Bluters, what Cleveland should expect hosting the Final Four.
Cleveland should expect some unbelievable basketball, and the fans that are going to be there, these are passionate fans. These are fans that know basketball. They are going to come ready to have a great time in Cleveland, and they're going to be cheering.
Now, one side note, we asked if Caitlin Clark will take part in any community events. Bluter was pretty firm, saying her players would be more selective about the events they're going to attend this year. Last year just got to be a lot, so she said it's probably a long shot to see Caitlin Clark around town this week. Katie?
Gotta focus. So many great players, so many great storylines, Carly. We are just so lucky that it is right here in Cleveland this year. So exciting. Thank you so much. All right, well, businesses in downtown Cleveland are gearing up for a huge influx of visitors for the Final Four. When Cleveland was first awarded the opportunity to host the tournament, the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission estimated that it would have a $25 million economic impact on the city. Well, with the skyrocketing popularity of women's basketball and the biggest stars in college basketball here, like Caitlin Clark, Carly was just talking about, playing here, they are now expecting a much bigger number. And that is welcome news for downtown bars and restaurants.
It's just kind of a part of a bigger weekend. It's a huge thing to begin with. If the one thing Cleveland knows how to do, it's big events.
We know sports. There will be plenty of fan events happening downtown as well, including Tourneytown at the Huntington Convention Center. That'll feature special appearances, games, giveaways, and a whole lot more. And the best part, Damon, it's free.
There we go.
Taking a live look now from inside Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, where the new NCAA Women's Basketball National Champion has just been crowned. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm Tracy Carlos. Cleveland was at the center of the sports world today, hosting the highly anticipated championship matchup between Iowa and South Carolina. News 5's Carly Massetti is live in downtown Cleveland right now with the post-game coverage. Hey, Carly.
Hey, Tracy, I'll tell you what, Cleveland got bang for its buck with this Final Four. Between the Final Four games and this national championship, what a great representation of women's college basketball at the highest level. South Carolina beating Iowa 87-75 for the national title. And what a season it caps off for the Gamecocks. Undefeated. That's the best outcome you could possibly have in a season, right? They improved to 38-0, capturing their third national title. They also get that revenge, that sweet revenge on Iowa, who knocked them out of the Final Four last year. This, of course, sends Iowa home packing in back-to-back years without a national championship, effectively ending Caitlin Clark's college career without a title under her belt.
I'm so incredibly happy for our players. It doesn't always end like you want it to end. I'm super proud of our fans. I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's unbelievable.
I mean, South Carolina is just so good. Like, there's only so much you can do. I mean, I'm just proud of our group. We never backed down, and we gave it everything we got.
30 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists for Caitlin Clark on the night. We'll hear from her later on in sports. But for now, let's bring in News 5 reporter Nadine Abusada, who's also here out at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse with me. Nadine, we saw fans packing Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. What's your experience as fans start to pile out here after the championship game?
Well, Carly, if you take a look, a lot of those fans are still here, mainly the South Carolina ones. As you can tell, they're right now still cutting that net. They gave some speeches, and they're just celebrating and taking in this moment. But, since tip-off, we heard it, we felt it. This arena was electric. I mean, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse was rocking with fans from all over and lots of people in their power suits, and you can't forget the kicks. We're talking about women's basketball fashion. Come on. But the thing that everybody agreed on was the love of the game. I said it didn't matter if you were fans from North Carolina, South Carolina, UConn, or Iowa. Everybody here had a good time, and they just love women's basketball.
So great.
It's been a great weekend, and just all the activities and all the families and people and fans are out. It was great.
I came to the 2022 Final Four when it was in Minneapolis, and just being a female athlete and playing basketball my whole life and seeing it grow the way that it has been awesome, and I hope that it continues to grow in a positive way, because it's been great as female athletes that they're finally getting the recognition they deserve.
It doesn't matter if it's men or women playing, let's just go play.
Of the game. Someone said this to me. They said, welcome to the party. For those that didn't know how fun women's college basketball was to watch, welcome to the party, and I hope you're here to stay. But Carly, we got to talk about this game. We got to talk about 2 more things. Caitlin Clark in those last 6 minutes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's an absolute animal. We're going to hear more from her. Of course, one of the big storylines coming out tonight is the end of Caitlin Clark's college career. So we'll hear more from her later on in sports here at 6. And we'll also have a little bit more from South Carolina, your 2024 national champions as well. Tracy, what a show here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse today.
We know how to throw a party, don't we, Carly? A scary moment at a Cleveland Monsters game this week turned into a very special connection. It comes after one fan saves another son from getting hit with a hockey puck. A Northeast Ohio woman turned to the internet to find him, gaining attention from thousands of people in the process.
Asia Davis from Cleveland went viral after posting a TikTok video explaining a life-saving moment at a Cleveland Monsters game. On Thursday, Asia and her son Nasir were at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse watching the Monsters take on the Lovell Rocket when a hockey puck flew over the glass right at their seats.
Oh my God!
Asia captured that moment on her phone as a stranger in the seat next to them stuck out his arm and blocked the puck from hitting her son right in the head. She then took to social media Saturday morning asking users to help her find the man next to them.
I owe that man lunch or dinner, another thank you.
That post racked up more than 10,000 views in one day, and it caught the attention of the Monsters, who tracked down the man who blocked that puck, Andrew Podolak. The team invited Andrew, Asia, and Nasir to today's game. All three took part in a ceremonial puck drop before the game and got free seats right against the glass. We caught up with both Andrew and Asia, who told us about the experience.
I went to sleep, and when I woke up around 10 o'clock in the morning, I had a DM from him, and it just said, "Everything happens for a reason. I'm glad little man is okay." And I looked at his profile. I'm like, this is him.
I was just coming out, trying to enjoy a hockey game, and the next thing you know, everything's blowing up on social media, this, that, and the other, and a whole bunch of people contacting me, and it's truly a good feeling.
For sure. What a sweet story that is. And he was quick to grab that puck and save that little boy.
New goalie.
Yeah.
There you go.